Hi, I'm Randy MacLean, the president of Waypoint Analytics, and I wanted to talk to you today about your most dangerous customer. The most dangerous customer is a customer that is draining a large amount of your profits, consuming a lot of your resources, and generally harming your profitability in a big way. Every company has a most dangerous customer, or heaven forbid, several most dangerous customers. And what these tend to be are very large customers that have a lot of small locations. And essentially, when you think about the small order problem, the thing that we've had for years, where we have small companies that come in and buy little bits of whatever it is that we sell from us and do it at such a basis that we cannot possibly cover the cost of serving the customer. That's been a problem that we've been working on for some time, and something that's well recognized. Unfortunately, what's happened is that quite a number of large companies are really collections of these small money-losing customers. You may have some national chain or some multi-location or multi-truck customer who has a business model with you where they come in and buy lots and lots of small quantities of product, and you wind up entering the order, preparing the order, pick, pack, and ship, billing the order, and so on and so forth for sales that don't have enough gross profit to cover the basis. Now, the reason that this happened, if you think about it, is that we've lost track of how we do pricing. Back in the dark ages of distribution, somebody that was very smart understood that if they had a customer that provided them with a very large order where a lot of product would come in on a single shipment, go out on a single invoice, and a single delivery, that the costs for delivering that much product were a smaller proportion of the overall order, and a smaller margin would be workable, viable, and profitable. Unfortunately, since that day to this day, pricing sophistication has gone more to big customer, low price. And frankly, some of the big customers can't support a low price because the amount of resources that they consume is too much. So somewhere in your fold, if you look at the bottom of your Waypoint customer profitability ranking, or if you look at a profit ranking report for your customer, or just look at the customer themselves, where they have a lower proportion of gross profit generated per invoice, and you find that customers have a very low number in that field, and the customer is very large and generates more than an average number of invoices, you're likely looking at your most dangerous customer. Now, what do you do about this? Unfortunately, we are where we are, and sometimes we rely on the volume that we get from this customer, and we think that it's good in some way. It never is, and it would almost always be better to lose the customer and all the infrastructure that the customer requires, because the company would be more profitable. And certainly we have clients and we've seen a number of businesses, any number of businesses that have recognized that and cut that out and become more profitable. But if it's important to you for whatever reason to continue to work with this customer, then it's very important to start changing the nature of the way that you do business. And one of the most common tactics that you would use to solve this kind of problem is start to borrow the customer's infrastructure, or have the customer use more of their infrastructure to cover some of the costs or some of the requirements in servicing the account. So for instance, if you have a very large national account that may have one or more DCs that supplies the bulk of their product to their locations, it would be a lot smarter for you to pack and ship product for individual locations and send them to the one DC and let them divvy it up and put it on with the other shipments that they're sending all over the country, than it would be for you to be sending individual trucks to 2 or 3 or 4 or 500 different locations with $7 or $8 or $10 or $15 or $20 worth of product on each one. And so an objective should be to work with the customer to make sure that you use more of their infrastructure to cover more of the logistics strain or the logistics requirement of that customer, so that you don't have to. That can turn a big money losing account into a big money making account and help you preserve all the benefits that you get with having the account. If that can't happen, then you really have to take a good look at pricing. There's nothing wrong with making an argument to the customer that says, look, you don't get big discounts just because you have big volumes. You also have to be more profitable than other accounts that are like you in order to be able to get that pricing. And so we're willing to trade margin points with you against infrastructure costs, but we're not willing to give away the margin points and take on all the infrastructure costs. And this may be a honcho call where you basically go back to the customer and have a real discussion with them. And don't worry, as big as they are and as small as you may be, you have a lot of power, because a big company that has a lot of stuff set up to work with you across a broad range of their locations has big work to do if they want to switch to somebody else. They have to get somebody else on board. Hopefully they have to find somebody else dumb enough to do that amount of work for that low a price. And if they do, they have to get everything organized so they know how to fulfill the product in the way that you do. And they have to learn what you know about how they like things in order for things to go smoothly on their end. So they don't quite have you over a barrel, and you should at least have an opportunity to go in and have a discussion. The intent is not to wind up with more dangerous customers. Don't attract new dangerous customers, and do something about the ones you have right now, because that will put a lot more money on the bottom line of the company, and that's good for the future of everyone, including the customer. So thanks a lot. We'll see you on other videos.